Hey guys, welcome to the Stardock stream. I am joined by Paul today. I'm sure you've all missed him so much.
It has. I guess it's been a while. It's been like 3 weeks, right?
They're counting because they're all in here in the chat saying it's been 3 weeks since we had our
Wow,
last stream and
yeah.
we can't handle it.
I've actually gotten some work done.
If you're having any sound issues with us, let us know, please. I will do what I can to adjust the microphones. Yes, we are live. Everybody's screaming live. Woo!
Can they hear it? Can they hear us? Can they hear us?
So far,
Can we
it seems
on?
to be that case. So let's move on, and if they can't hear us, then we'll go from there.
Show off that crazy ship.
Yeah, show off that crazy ship. Just don't click on that part.
Although everybody, I guess, can download that themselves.
Right.
Man, I can't believe how fast this computer is. Really fast. So before we were here, I was looking at the workshop, and somebody had posted a new ship, or maybe it isn't new, maybe it's just highly ranked. But this thing is amazing.
Oh, good. They can hear us, and the sound and video looks good. That is such a cool ship.
I mean, God knows, I want to know how many parts this is.
I know.
We really need a counter. I mean, I guess I could figure it out. So this is what, maybe 25 parts. So there's 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows, 6 rows. 7 rows,
my
8
God.
rows, 9 rows, 10 rows, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Holy crap, I don't even think I can do the math for that. So 16 times 25.
I'm pulling out my calculator now.
Well, I guess that's not that hard. That's 300 and something. But yeah.
400 it says, 16 times 25.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
that's
look at
nuts.
this thing. It's amazing. It's Iconian. And it's even like design. It's the Arian class mothership, the flagship of the Iconian Navy. So this is literally like designed to be Iconian.
A vessel of tremendous size. No kidding.
But look at the crazy thing about it is all the inner space and the work he did. Look at this. You can actually like click on the little dividers between the different landing bays. And look at this. There's another one up here. Look at this. It's got actually like a little track built in it. That's like some sort of, God knows, it's like 1,000 polygon part stuck in the floor. I would look at this. These stripes. Holy moly.
That's crazy.
This is a really great example of, why I love the look at this. What are these? Oh, man. This thing is crazy. I would love to put this in the game, but I think if you got a big game going and the AI was building 100 of these, it would crush the frame rate. I mean, this is as many parts as most fleets, probably bigger than most fleets.
Right.
But look at that. This makes my heart glow.
That's happy.
These are those custom parts. And I found a bug while we were playing with this where
Oh yeah, we did.
if you load a custom part, it oh my God. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Who was that? His master of I forgot his name, but
so wasn't it something incognito?
it's like #1 on the Steam Workshop right now. If you guys, everybody go get the ship and play with it. It's
really cool.
It's amazing.
Seriously cool.
All right, so now that I've done that, I'm actually going to exit out of here and go back to the main menu.
We got questions flowing in already.
All right. Okay, so for today, we're going to take a look at 1.4. Let's see. It says
that's what they're all asking about
here. 1.4 so far, and I'm actually really happy to say this because it's made life easier. We've primarily just been focusing on AI and usability and like just little bug fixes. So we've gotten the AI much, much smarter about managing its worlds. I mean, much, 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 much smarter, where I actually lost a game on normal the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, we've kind of done with that, and now we're working on ships. So the AI still has problems. People bitch that like the AI will build a bunch of transports, but then never invade you.
Right.
And that's because it doesn't have the life support range, and it doesn't know how to fix those problems. So we're working on that, where it'll better bridge build. We've already totally augmented the way the AI does its research. So there's actually now like a couple of different menus for the AI to pick from. And then on top of that menu, each AI has the weights that you establish when you create a custom faction. So the AI will go through and go, I should probably research this, but is this other thing is more important, so I'm going to go to that. So you get this really neat organic growth, but like little things that the human always knows to get now always get got by the AI. So the AI is better at logistics now. It's better at life support. It's better at a ton of things, but mostly it's better at building out its planets. And then what the next step, which we'll be doing for the next couple of weeks, is we're getting it better at coming to kill you. Like invasions and better management of the planets. So a couple little things that sorry. No, you're fine. A couple little things that I'll show you really quick is we have, this was supposed to be in 3.1, but we never did it. We went ahead and killed off the slider, and I know everybody's like, no, but actually it's great. I've been playing this way for about a month now, and the game is better for it. So now you have these governors, and unlike before, these governors are actually really good because the AI is essentially doing what the AI does for itself whenever you select these. And it's pretty good. We'll soak in a minute to show that. We've also brought back focuses. Now, what these focuses do are these essentially take the place of the planetary slider. If you hit this, it essentially takes 25% of overall production. So it's essentially like sliding the slider 25% that direction into manufacturing, into research, into wealth. So this allows you to specialize planets without, oh, look at that. What was that? It was just a refresh thing. Oh, I wanted to see that. Oh yeah, it's just a refresh thing. And then if you look here now, and we just got this and it's really nice, is at the bottom of all these tooltips, it tells you what your spending is. Remarkably useful. And why wasn't that there in the first place? So I can say my manufacturing is 33, because I'm still default. It's 35% manufacturing, 50% of it's going to this, and 60% is that. Right now, it doesn't account for the focus, and he's fixing that. So if I go in here and I adjust this now down to here, and this all the manufacturing, and go into here, it'll actually say I'm 49% spending to manufacturing, and 100% of it's to social, and 100%. And that's it. That's backwards. Okay. I just caught that. That's a bug. Bara's probably not watching this. I'll have to remind him. It is probably correct. It's probably just picking the wrong one. Right. Okay. So then what else? Oh, there's so many little tweaks. We've added, I guess I'll show you that once I've actually soaked for a while. Anyways, let's go ahead and soak. I'll take some questions while we're doing that.
All right, let me scroll up a bit to catch a couple of things. All right. Somebody says that one of the recurring ideas on the forum's wish list is a better sorting system. Is this something you've worked on?
For the ships or for what? Probably for ships, yeah.
Yeah, Leblars, if that's not what you're asking, go ahead and clarify, but assume ships.
Well, all of our lists, the problem is people, especially these hardcore people, have hundreds and hundreds of ships. So we're trying to come up with a better system. There's nothing currently to show, and there's nothing currently, since we have bigger fish to fry at the moment. Right. But yes, I'm definitely looking into that. We're all definitely looking into that.
Okay. And then TW Narrow asks, could we eventually get a real supply system? I would like to see ships go out with an amount of supplies and have to return to star bases or planets to resupply.
That would really mess with the overall dynamic of the game, so probably not. Yeah. That doesn't mean that we won't have like things that, I mean, that's really what life support and logistics are, is they essentially limit your range. Whereas if you had to go back, it would add so much micromanagement that I don't think that that it would really fit into this particular game.
Right.
Okay, so now if you look over here, you see this little icon, and this is going to change. These are temporary icons, but you can actually see now if you can talk to a race. So you click on this and you go to it and it says, oh, you've already talked to me. So I can go here and I can say, let's come to a trade agreement. And, I'm so keen, so that doesn't like that. But then essentially, so I come to my trade agreement and then I'll come back and then that little icon will be gone. And then in 10 turns when I can't talk, it'll come back on.
Right.
So you don't ever have to sit there and go, oh, who can I talk to? Who can I talk to?
Yeah.
Also, you can see now the relations tooltip is on here, which is super, super useful.
Right.
And if you're at war, it'll say you're at war. And so that's a little polish point that I'm really happy to finally get in.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice that the AI has gotten really good at star-based building. So you'll see he's already got 2 economic bases here, and he knows what's going to help this planet. And he's already got one. Oh, look at this. See, he knew that this would cover both of these, so he put this here, and he'll probably put 2 more here. The star bases allow the AI to get some really, really impressive numbers.
Yeah.
The other thing that, like, I know when I talk about this today, people are going to be like, well, those numbers aren't that big, but you got to remember that we took out the planetary spender, so you can't go to a planet and shift it all to manufacturing anymore. So
Right.
You have to do that globally. But I mean, so here we're at like 30 turns in, and he's already got 85 on his home world. And within by about 100 turns, he'll be in the triple digits. And the AI will actually get up into the 2, 3, 400s on a good world now. Whereas before, if an AI got over 100, it was a big deal.
Right.
And mostly what we've done is we've made it so that the AI specializes planets more. There's a couple other things I didn't. I added a couple new projects. There's a approval project for planets that are really screwed. If you want to just cheer everybody up really quick, you can actually start putting money into approval. That one's less useful, but it's good in bad situations like when you're being close to being culture flipped. And there's a new, and since we got rid of military spending, I mean of the per planet spending, one of the things I added, although it's not, he probably hasn't unlocked it yet, is there's a military subsidies project. And everybody who's played the game a lot knows that. So I have these 3 planets are sponsoring this shipyard, but this one isn't. So this one none of its production is going to the shipyard. So there's all of that military is actually being spent on social. So what we did was I wanted an equivalent way to say all social just go to military. So that's essentially like sliding for a planet, sliding your thing to a military. So there's military subsidies, which we might have to nerf a little, but I want to see how people like it. Where you go to military subsidies, yeah, here it is. And this essentially now every point here is going, regardless of what your spending slider is at, is going to the starbase.
Oh, I see.
So that essentially allows people to. So in a few ways, like these focuses allow you to adjust the planetary slider a little bit, and this allows you to adjust the military slider, but only 100% in one direction, or go with whatever the global is.
Right.
So this is real. This works out really nice. Also, the beauty of that is like when you're building the project, because it's the end. Essentially, the end result is, well, I'm building stuff. I want everything on half social, half military. But the minute I'm done, just send all that to the starbase.
Right.
So that takes away some micromanagement. So I'm really happy with the way that's coming out.
Awesome.
Do you have any? Go ahead and take.
Oh, you got tons. Okay, let's see. Somebody did ask. Let me keep going up. What do you use for a culture governor?
Well, a culture governor, I might create a culture. I actually can create more governors.
Oh, okay.
Right now, I don't have one because winning through culture is kind of hard. And it's not something that I think the governor is going to be able to do easy. So people are going to want to micromanage that a little.
Right.
So let me go back to the planet and look. But yeah, I will probably create a influence governor as well that essentially focuses on making sure you build a lot of influence. And here's another thing I'm doing, although it's not really as easy to demo. Actually, let's look at this. So yeah, so you see the AI is better at building these star bases. It knows what modules are useful. Is I'm making the I did a big balance pass on all of the tech cost and the rate of which techs increase value. So there's a bigger curve, and what we're also adding is a galaxy habitable planet modifier. So that means that if you're playing a giant map, all the techs are going to take longer, particularly the longer in the game you are. So that way you won't be able to, just because you're playing a gigantic map, you won't blow through the whole tree early. The other thing, we also then went through and made sure that what I ended up doing was buffing up some of the starbase modules, which sounds a little weird because they're very powerful now, but they weren't that powerful in comparison to like particular adjacency bonuses. So the strategic star bases in a little way are a little bit more powerful, but then I was like, well, we need to fix the influence star bases. So I rebalanced a lot of the influence star bases are actually useful now.
Yeah.
And so that's so if you're really going for an influence victory, you're going to want to use influence star bases more than you are going to be using planets. I haven't done it yet, but we're going to make a trigger. So influence basis will actually, when you add that ring, it'll give it a flat, big bump, and that will make them a little more hostile.
Right.
So that'll be fun. And then with military bases, everybody's like, why would I ever build one? Well, I'm gonna make sure all those bonuses, I'm gonna bump up all their bonuses a little, and we're gonna make the ring, the area of influence on a military base, like twice as big.
Okay.
So you would set so if I built a military star base right here, it would make, it'd make all of this, it would boost all these fleets attacks. Or if I build, and then here's the beauty is if it's a bigger ring, I can still have my 3 here. I could put a military base here. It would cover, or maybe here or something like that. It would cover all these planets and give all these big buffs to all my ships on the planets, everything flying around the planets, the star bases and everything.
Right.
So we're going to do that to the military. Here you can see they're already at war because nobody likes anybody. And who are they fighting? Oh, they're fighting the Abaddon. And you can see, so we're at 144 turns. The AI's already got giant fleets of medium ships. Let's see what our production is at on Earth. It's not actually that high. Oh, because he's doing some research too.
Right.
Mars is kind of 41. That's pretty impressive for Mars. And then you can see this planet is doing 28 research. So the AI is a lot better. Now, like I said, keep in mind that the smaller numbers are a side effect of balancing things a little better. So everybody's going to get smaller numbers, but it actually helps the gameplay a lot. So anyways,
okay.
More questions?
Oh, so many, Paul.
I just have so many things to point out.
And they have so many things they're asking.
Right.
So somebody does ask, Ronan the Wizard asks, will there be any DLC released with 1.4 and what will it contain?
Actually, thankfully, in my opinion, we are not doing a DLC with 1.4, which is great because it's allowing me to spend all my time on balancing and fixing bugs.
Right. Okay.
I'm actually knee deep already in the first expansion.
That's awesome.
So that's really that's where all my I guess you can consider that a big DLC, but that won't come out until the first expansion.
Right. Okay. Let's see.
guy going to take this planet? Finally, here we go.
Zim00 says, is the 1.4 update fixing the not enough extreme/planets on abundant issue that people are seeing due to the planets per map size AI players fix you suggested? Or is that a
Well,
later
we're
update?
always that's going to be part. That'll probably end up being part of the
Gotcha.
The number of habitable planets slider
Mhm.
twig. It's really just a question of is abundant big enough? That's just a number.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's so random. It is literally random that sometimes like I'll crank it up and then there's too many. So it's really hard to balance that one. But we might even have to put like a low level cap. But hopefully I can tie that to the number of planets and that'll make it a little better.
Right. Nivid asks, when can we expect keyboard shortcuts that may be a massive aid to gameplay?
We have some, but we would like to add more, and that's really just a polish thing. As time allows, really is I guess the answer he doesn't want to hear. Okay, so here's Earth is now at 167, and look at this. He's cranking out transports every turn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is the AI cranking out transports every turn, and that makes me happy. As a matter of fact, here's the thing: funny thing is, I know people don't like it when we give bonuses to the AI, but on Genius and Godlike and things like that, we give them some bonuses. There's really no secret about that. We're gonna have to take most of those out because now that the AI is really good at building planets, it's insane. I had a Genius. I was testing against Godlike, and the Drengen had like a 3,000 production planet.
Are you kidding me?
And I'm like, okay, that's just ridiculous.
This is not okay.
So yeah, we're going to be nerfing. We're going to be taking out most of those bonuses and focusing more on the governors and the strategies.
Okay.
We're going to actually probably have to nerf. We will probably put in some negatives, unfortunately, for beginner because normal is a little hard now. And like I said, if you play a compact galaxy with like 8 races on it, and you don't get enough planets, you're hosed right now. Right. They will eat you alive. Because they just build up so fast.
Right.
And it's not that and the beauty is none of it is cheating. It's all just legitimate gameplay, but now the AI's gotten a lot better at it. Hey, look, apparently, ooh, wow. This is going to be a killer planet. I wonder if he's going to use this as his... If he's going to switch this over to be his capital. Wow. Anyways, more questions?
Oh, yes. Let's see. In 1.4, can we still place manu capitals and tech capitals manually?
Yep.
Okay.
Was there ever a time when you couldn't?
I have no idea.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Matter of fact, I was just, as he asked that question, I was looking to see where the AI had put his manufacturing capital. But it's like there's, it'll actually like go through and it will do, the type of math that min-maxers do.
Right.
Where they're like, well, if I put this here, so he's got this here up to a 7.
Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised if he put the manufacturing capital here, but he might have a better place. Or he might have already placed it somewhere that I didn't see.
Right. Nautilus asks if they will be able to mod the focuses.
You will be able to, but you just end up messing with the flow of the game. But yes, there's nothing stopping you. They're just XML.
Gotcha.
There's only 3 of them, so it's not like a big mod. All you'd do is go in there and say, actually, I want it to be 100% instead of 25%. I briefly considered having different tech levels to allow you to increase them. But honestly, after playing it for a while, you can get really good numbers legitimately now.
Right.
You don't need it. You really don't need it. And the only reason you'll be upset is if you've been relying on, and I don't want to offend anybody, like some really cheesy tactics.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only reason to really be nervous about it. So here's we've got... Look at this. And he's got decent fleets of. Everybody must be at peace. Oh, he's at war with the Yor.
Oh, the Yor.
Yeah. So that's a cool thing. But I'm just really happy with how the planets.
Yeah.
Like this. Look at this. 239 coming from this planet.
Wow.
He's cranking out a frigate every 2 turns. A frigate L Mark III. So that's a good frigate too. Yeah. So let's see if I can get one of these two. Get back here. I want to get your stats. Where are they all going? They must be at war with.
Somebody's asking.
They're at war with the Yor.
Oh. Somebody's asking a very technical question.
Okay.
Why do I have 180 steps and a rotation animation speed, but only 10 steps and an offset animation speed? Why do both offer a decimal place in their values, but do not use them? I don't know.
Honestly, I don't remember. Let's see. Actually, let me quit soaking because this will probably explode if I try to do that. Oh, man. S-O-A. Okay. Okay.
He's
so
such a
let's
friendly-looking
see
guy.
What he's talking about here. Let's go. Use design. Okay, so he's talking about the animation speed. Oh. Okay, so the rotation and the offsets are only 10 because the world space is like 100 or something like that. And if you offset these things too far, they get ridiculously out of range. So it's not that it's a degree; it's a unit of world space. So hopefully that answers that a little. And then we have 360 with, or you have 180 with these because that's where we determine is too fast and not slow enough. So they're really just arbitrary settings.
Okay.
On our part.
Gotcha.
That said, I think those are in XML if you really wanted to play with them. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it's like we played with it and went, if you have anything faster than this, it's going to look ridiculous and stupid and will, go outside of the bounding box and cause problems. So that's really why those settings are set the way they are.
Well, he's not talking about distance, but speed.
So this speed here, because of that, like I said, is 10 is very fast.
Gotcha.
Negative 10 is very fast the other way. Right. So it's just essentially anything faster than 10 is ridiculous. I mean, even 1 is. Matter of fact, but I am a little surprised about the decimal. Oh, I see what he's saying. There is no. Oh, well, that we might be able to turn the decimals on this. I don't know why the decimal doesn't work on that.
Gotcha.
That might just literally be all of these use the same control, and some of them use a decimal, and some of them don't. Mm-hmm. But it actually, now that I look at it, it looks like none of them use it. Oh wait, this one does. Yeah. So they all use the same control, and some of them use it, some of them don't. And that's why they have it. But the answer might be to have them all use it. I'll have to look at it.
Okie doke. Let's see. Creature of Existence says he has an idea or suggestion. Could we build up resistance, like building military forces on the ground, and spec them up into different types of units in the next expansion, including spies?
That will not be in the next expansion, but yes, we will be doing something like that eventually. The next expansion has something that's a little bit brand new that I don't think we want to talk about yet.
Gotcha.
But is pretty cool. I mean, aside from like the things we've talked about, where we're gonna, the new Starbase system, things like that. But we're adding a whole new game dynamic
Awesome.
that I think people are going to really like. At least I hope so, because I'm spending all my time on it right now. Okay. I think that the Terrans are going to kill the Yor.
Then somebody asked earlier if 1.4 was going to include any new campaigns or anything.
No.
Okay.
No. However, the expansion will include a very big campaign. And depending on how much time I have. But I already have 7 missions spec'd out.
Oh, awesome.
And new races.
Very cool.
Stuff like that.
Awesome.
And we will be doing more campaign DLCs later that won't necessarily require the expansion pack, although hopefully everybody will get the expansion pack.
Right. No, he's not going to spill the beans, guys. Sorry.
I honestly, I don't know what I'm really allowed to talk about, so I think it's best.
No,
if
you
I just
definitely
don't
behave.
say
Yes.
anything.
Nimid says, a minor gripe. How can I have control over where the capital tile of a colony will be placed? Currently, my capital is all alone in a small island while across the oceans.
You can't. And we
Okay.
briefly considered allowing you to place it, and the idea is still on the table. The other thing was to maybe make it, which is a less good solution, is just make sure that the capital is never by itself, so that people don't feel like they're getting screwed.
Right, man.
Brandon, Patrick was just yelling. My producer was yelling at me about this just
really
yesterday. Although, and sometimes you actually, like in this case, I would rather have a factory here and let this be off of in the sticks. So, ideally, yes, it would be great to let the player choose it. But that's one extra step every time you colonize. I don't know. I am starting to think it might be not that annoying, and we might add that at some point.
Gotcha. Oh, man, Scott's not even here, and they're picking on him. They said you're not going to spill the beans because you're not Scott, basically. Let's see. Tox85 asks, how many expansions are planned in total?
Currently, I believe we have 3 expansions planned, and then of course, assorted DLC in between them.
Excellent.
Look at this. They've got ships all the way over here.
Wow.
Are they at war with? They must be at war with. Oh, they're at war with the Drengen, or no, with the. I don't think they're at war with the. Oh, they are at war with the Altarians.
Oh.
And what are the Altarians using? Oh, missile weapons, and they're using mass murders. And they are going to win. Yay, Terrans. And then the Drengen are just wandering through, I guess, to kill other things.
Levelars asks, regarding the icons for the zoomed out main screen, have you thought about making it possible to adjust to size of the different icons independently? For example, making the icons for owned resources or relics smaller.
That might be kind of hard to do it on a custom basis. So he essentially is the thing is that, like, I don't want to be cluttered up with things I already own. I only want to see things I don't. I was thinking about making them so they change to your color if you own them.
Okay.
But there are no current plans to change that. But I do see the point. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or if that was the point you were trying to make. Oh, look at that poor guy.
Running the Wizard asks, how's work going on enabling civilization-specific text trading?
It is a pain in my butt, and it makes me cry. But it should be in the expansion, but I wasn't able to get it in because it's requiring a lot of... I even toyed with the idea with completely redoing all the text trees to make it easier. Oh,
geez.
It's a graphical thing. It's a graphical thing.
Gotcha.
And we lost the guy who had done all that. Not lost him. Like, he's not here anymore. He's not dead or anything. So so it's turning out to be kind of a pain. And because we're working focusing so much on getting the gameplay better, it kind of falls aside a little bit.
Right.
Oh, look at that. I think the Altarians are done being pushed around.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
They look pretty cheap.
That ship must have been messed up to lose to...
Ooh.
This could actually be a pretty... There is a bug, or not a bug. There are some balancing issues right now in the current game, and that the Drengen kind of suck. Every time I soak the Drengen, they die. And the Altarians and the Terrans are really rocking it, and it might just literally be a balancing problem on my part. But the good news is I can fix it.
There was a question about 1.4 diplomacy earlier. I'm trying to find it. Something about how you guys said you were going to focus on improving diplomacy for 1.4.
And we have actually. Okay. Matter of fact, let me unsoak again. Well, we are doing some stuff. Mostly we're just kind of touching things up. I did want to do a whole pass on like the get off my lawn and all that stuff in 1.4, but I think it's going to end up being pushed to the next to the expansion because it's kind of beefy. Now we'll probably backport a lot of that into the main game, so you don't have the expansion. But anyway, so now let's see. When I come here, here's a couple of little things. Okay, so this is something that's driven me crazy forever, and I know that only I'm going to care about this. But I can now collapse star bases and ships. And matter of fact, I'd like to. And then watch. I'll make a deal with this guy. What can I give him? I'll give you a harmony. Oh, apparently I have no text that he doesn't have.
Oh no,
it's embarrassing for me. Okay, here I'll give him
well, you
open
were soaking.
borders for 66 credits. Accept. Done. Okay, and now. Oh, I guess I asked for that by coming in here. Now, when you go into all of the trade windows, the ones you collapsed stay collapsed. Yay!
Yay!
We're adding a relations bar up here, so when you're mad, I mean, you can usually tell by his expression, but you can see, oh, he really hates me. No wonder he won't give me any good deals. Of course, behind the scenes, we're doing a lot of work to make the offers and everything make more sense. It's funny is I had this big list of things and he did all of them, but I can't remember what they all were. The most obvious one is this stupid collapsing thing.
Right.
There was a bug where I don't know if there's anybody that I literally have more tech. Wow. Apparently everybody is smarter than me. There's got to be somebody who has some text that I don't have. Well, this is embarrassing. Anyway, so now if I say offer, one of these and one of these and one of these. I guess I didn't actually give a number. And offer. And then, I don't know, people might not have run into this. Any hardcore traders will have run into this bug a lot, where I can come in here and say, and he'll go, oh, all right, very generous. And then I can say, and some credits. Actually, let me get one more here. That's still apparently worth too much. Okay, so yeah, and some credits. He's like, oh, apparently I'm just barely there. So let's go one. Yeah, and he'll say $4.99, and then you say offer, and see how this goes gray? Oh. Because the value just changed in between him offering me $4.99 for it.
Oh, geez.
So that and then you click it, and it says, oh, actually, I meant $126. And then it'll take a deal. So we fixed that. That bug drives me batty. So yeah, that's fixed, and I'm sure anybody who plays a lot of trading will greatly appreciate that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's a lot of just behind the essentially 1.4. 90% of 1.4 is behind the covers, making the AI better.
Right.
That's and that it makes me very happy. That's really what I want to see getting done. And a lot of this will then get ported into actually not ported because it's 1.4. We want the AI to be a lot smarter. as we kind of close out vanilla.
People
Look at
seem
it.
very thrilled that you're fixing that bug. There's been lots of people saying, "Oh, good, we hate that bug."
Yeah, you know what's
So-
funny is that I play through trade, and a lot of
Oh, do
people
you?
here don't. So they are like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And it's like, well, you obviously don't trade like crazy. And here's that kind of example. So I've talked to Iconian, so now the little faction will
Yeah.
not speak to me is there. So I don't bother looking over and going, oh, can I trade with them again?
Oh,
You
okay.
can tell.
Gotcha.
So that's really nice.
That's excellent. Let's see. Could we see precise amounts of points that we need to get the next tech? Also, why don't we see trade freighters in the game once a trade route has been made so that we can plunder trade routes?
Well, we were originally going to do raiding in a completely different way, and that is why you don't see them. But we are probably going to go back to more of a GalCiv 2 model,
Okay.
where there are little freighters. Whether you'll be able to raid them or not is still raid them in that way is still questionable, because in some ways raiding is really annoying to people, and I would like to. I don't like anything that annoys people.
Right.
But we do need to bring back raiding, and that will most likely be in the expansion for sure.
Okay.
Most likely be in the expansion for sure. That's not very committal, I guess. Most likely.
Let me see if I can scroll up and get a couple more of these. On maps with lots and lots of factions, can we have a user setting where the UP is set up earlier than half of the total races? I know only players on large maps care, but wanted to ask anyway.
That is not a bad idea, actually. I'll think about that. The question is, where would you set it? Is that worthy of being a game setting? Maybe we should just make it so if 1/4 of the or something. So I'll think about that.
Gotcha.
Where's this guy? Why is he going home?
Can we have a stop upon detection order for ships that are auto moving?
Stop upon detection of they've detected you.
That's what I would assume.
Maybe we're working on some new directives and stuff like that. So
Okay.
that's not on the top of our list, but it's actually, wait a second, it is. That would be patrol, which is not the same as auto move. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have a patrol thing where you can say patrol this area, and it will not prompt you for movement unless somebody's there.
Gotcha.
So it's like guard, but moving in an area, around in an area.
Will assimilation treaties be added anytime soon?
Not right away. No, I still would like to do that though, and that was like in my original design to be able to assimilate a whole race into your thing as a kind of friendly way of killing people.
Right.
But currently, it's a little. It opens a lot of doors that we're not willing to open quite yet. Man, the Terrans are kind of kicking ass. Look at this. This is bully. What's that? Oh, this is a former Altarian world.
Oh, really?
Over. One of the things the AI will do now that it never used to do is it will literally start blowing up its own improvements if it can find ways to make the planet better.
Really?
Yeah. So that's something even humans have a hard time doing, where they're like, I don't know if I should do that, or I don't want to blow up that thing that I've had for 50 turns. Oh, he's got several. I still don't see his manufacturing capital. I wonder why he hasn't placed it. Maybe it ends up on Earth, but it seems like this would be the place for it to be.
Oh, Runafok clarified that move upon detection or stop upon detection. I was referring to ships moving to a rally point. Now they just move around the other player.
Oh, maybe that would kind of be part of some of the smarter rally point stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So here we have the Brainiacs. Oh, look at all those ships it's got defending.
Planets look so cool in this game.
Look at
There's just a lot of
that. Is
stuff
a
that looks
very
really,
populated planet. 30.
really cool in this game.
Oh, here's
general.
another thing that is really cool is if you look at the populations now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess that's a bad example. 3.8. Food 3.8. He must have captured. What's up with that? Oh, I guess those are just really crappy planets. But he will actually like, see, he's doing birthing. So the AI will actually do birthing subsidies.
Yeah.
Until he has max pop.
Oh, okay.
And then he'll run in. And yeah, and you can see this planet's doing 360, which is nothing to spit at. Yeah, see, he's doing 13. He should actually have better farms. I'm a little upset that he hasn't built better farms yet. But that's probably because I'm playing Terrans. I'm sure like the Iconians or somebody has got better farms already.
Right.
Anyways. Questions?
God mode activated. All right.
I just wanted to see what other races are doing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, see.
Oh, that lets you look at everything else.
He's got adaptive farms on this planet.
Okay.
He's already got 19. Look at that. It's a little. I'm a little concerned about the farm building, but it might just be because it's just reaching the point where it's going to start replacing all these.
Right. Let's see, what else do I have here? They're very chatty today, so I'm weeding through a lot of stuff.
Medium. Surprised they haven't gotten too large, or maybe they have and it just hasn't. I haven't been looking.
I don't think I asked this one yet. Will the race tech trees also include separate techs per race abilities?
Currently, no.
Currently, no. Okay.
No, that we actually have the ability to lock text to abilities, but it opens yet another can of worms of, well, can I trade that? Can I not trade it?
Right.
Currently, there are no plans to adapt that. I actually have a entirely separate game where the entire text stream is based only on that.
Okay.
But that is just a game in my brain.
Tox85 has a good question for you. He says, Paul, since the release, the game has undergone a lot of changes and tweaking already. How do you feel about the progress and the work to come?
I'm feeling better and better as we move forward. I like the game. I liked it in 1.1 and 1.0 but there was always like, oh man, we could do this, and
right.
And like I said, like a lot of these AI tweaks that I'm showing off now are things that I've been just holding my breath to get in, and we're finally able to get in.
Right.
And these are going to make the game a lot better. So, it's one of those things where it's like when you're doing it, you're never happy, but yet you're happy enough. It's like, oh, that's good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough. That's good. Whereas I'm getting to the point where it's like, okay, that's good enough. And that's what I like to see. Now, for every one of those, that's good enough, there's something else. Okay, here the Altarians are at larges now.
So pretty.
So it'll never be done until they literally like claw it out of my hands and we move on to GalCiv 4 or whatever.
Right.
And I'm sure that even like what I'm bragging about right now will all seem like it's garbage in a year because we'll find better ways to do it.
Yeah, you can learn, you move forward.
Yeah, and
That's
we get,
cool.
And player feedback helps a lot with that. And
yeah, definitely. You guys have a really great community here. I keep saying that. Yeah. Crash 6674 says, are stations able to defend adjacent tiles yet?
Oh, yet, as if we were ever going to do that. No. That's not really what they are. Military bases can give boost to adjacent tiles, but you can't defend adjacent tiles.
Gotcha.
Because that would essentially break all combat. It would essentially be a different type of movement for only one thing, and it would be odd.
Right.
Holy, look at that. 4 antimatters.
Oh,
somebody scored here.
That is so cool looking.
Now I bet that the what's this, the Drengen? Oh, they're not even using them. Well, they might be using it. He's got 60. It's all frigates.
Let's see. There's another question. Is there going to be a focus on fixing multiplayer? It's still a little buggy and crash prone.
We're always working. As a matter of fact, I don't talk about it because it's essentially a perpetual thing. A multiplayer is very difficult. Every time we make a change to anything, it can technically break multiplayer.
A million more changes need to be made.
Because
Gotcha.
it's like, oh, now this person was playing with this, and and really what kills us is the custom factions and modding. Like people will, so we have to make all these changes and tweaks, and then those might actually have ramifications on things. But yes, we're always working on multiplayer. We're now testing with 6 and 8 players, human players. Whether we're gonna when we're gonna release that ability is when we're sure it's solid. The patch that just came out today, I think it's still opt-in, is almost entirely multiplayer refinement. Yes, we will always be working on multiplayer. It will always be the most problematic part of the game. It's just the nature of multiplayer. Yeah. Ask the Master Chief Edition guys.
Let's see. Spencer has a question from a player. It says that teammates can start out on the opposite ends of the map and would like an option for yikes.
Oh, this is that pirate event must have just happened.
Oh.
Because I'm like, what are these giant pirate ships? Pirate overlords.
It's always pirates.
Yes.
Spencer has a question from somebody. He says that teammates start out on the opposite sides of maps and would like an option or something to start near each other. Is that something that you guys
we
consider?
Actually are looking into something like that. It's
cool.
It's one of those things where it's like with random generation, you really want random generation. So if you start going random generation except for this, it can cause some problems. So we'll look into that.
Okay.
There's really nothing. It's not a trivial thing to do. As silly as it sounds, it is actually a harder thing to do than it sounds.
Now, a few people have asked about the ETA on 1.4. Do we have that yet? Can we say yet?
I believe the end of this month.
The end of this month? Okay, cool.
Yes.
And somebody asks, any news on getting the modding guy on a stream again? I'm assuming, Zim, that you mean Derek. Is that correct?
Derek, yes.
I will talk to him and see if he has it. It is my problem. So I will.
Derek is a very busy man.
That is what I understand.
To nail him down.
But I will, when I get a chance, guys, I will talk to Derek and see if he can spare a half an hour to talk to you modders about stuff. So I will pop out and ask him that.
I want to know what's their logistics at now. 25. That's not great, but they're not primary. How about 40? Yeah, okay, that's more like it. So this is a good example of how.
Thanks, Spencer. Spencer says it's my problem.
Yeah, so this is a good example of how the different techs weights really weigh in. It's like the Terrans are like 28 logistics, and the Drengen are like 40 because they want to murder everybody, and the other
such friendly
these
guys.
guys are at like 25. And you notice when you soak, like the Iridium really actually try and avoid murdering everybody. Mm-hmm. They do so much trading and stuff, and that's by design. Right. As a matter of fact, what's weird is if you soak like the Iridium and the Iconians and the Altarians, the game will last forever because it really becomes like a fight for an influence victory versus a tech victory versus and nobody's super gung-ho. But then if you throw the Yor and the Drengen and the Terrans into a map, it's a bloodbath. So
that must be kind of fun and interesting to watch.
Well, this
actually,
because as I do design, because that's mostly what I'm doing right now, is I'm just sitting there with Excel and with there's that. Look at that. I think this only happens in soaks. Those missiles are off on there.
It's just random waylaid missiles, huh?
Holy, look at that.
So
30 billion people on Iconia right now. Or 30 billion Yor. So the what was I saying? Oh, so as I do with these designs, I have two versions of the game pretty much running constantly doing different soaks so that I can keep an eye on. as I make changes, see how they affect things. Or playing. The problem with playing is I get attached to it and I want to play and then I'm not doing any work.
Right.
I try and end every day with a game, and
do you?
Yeah, if I can, if time allows, because that's really how you learn.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
you find these things. Oh, you can only learn so much from soaking.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the things that I haven't mentioned, not for in the expansion, we'll make sure I'm adding a bunch of new UP resolutions, which I know people have been wanting.
Right.
That's like a major. Probably won't even be a bullet point on the sales brochure, but I know that some players will be anxious to get that.
Awesome. Well, guys, we are at 4:00, just about a couple minutes shy. So, Paul, do you have any parting words before we cut the stream?
1.4 is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm looking forward to a whole new wave of things that we broke and you're mad about, but the game is, I can honestly say, it's just going to be a lot better and a lot more fun.
Right.
It might be a little bit different because we're going to take away a couple of the more exploity, cheesy things. But I think that in the long run, everybody will be very happy with it.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks. I know that a lot of you, I tried to get to as many of your questions as we could. They do check the forums. They do look at things. So keep posting your questions. They'll get to you. I will see, hopefully, Paul, in the next couple of weeks. We'll have Paul back again. We'll have another GalCiv stream.
I will be gone 2 Fridays from now.
Oh, really? Where are you going?
The Baltimore Marathon is on a Saturday, so I will be driving all day.
Oh, how cool.
On a Friday, the day before that, which is, I think, is the 18th, so it might be the 17th. I don't know, whatever Friday is that.
Well, at some point I will have Paul back
I
again.
can any time other than that.
And I will see what I can do about getting Derek for the modders. So thanks, guys, for tuning in and hanging out with us for an hour. And everybody have a wonderful weekend. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, Twitter page, etc. for future streams and all that stuff. There will not be a GalCiv stream next week because Paul is busy working on stuff, as you've heard. So
apparently the Iconians and the Korean are not happy with it.
Gilmore says Paul runs.
Paul runs a lot.
That's awesome.
I have run 47 marathons.
Are you serious? That's really cool.
And I'm trying to do all the states, and Baltimore will be my 30th state.
That's wonderful. Does Kristen run with
2
you too?
2 weeks after that, I'm doing West Virginia, doing, Marshall. And then in December, I'm doing Rocket City Marathon, and that will be my 4 marathons for this year.
That's awesome. I try and
do 4 states a year.
That's so cool. All right. Well, guys, like I said, we'll get on here as often as we can for you. Have a great weekend, and thanks for joining us at the stream.
It's really nice not to have a runny nose for once.